I've always seen people's stories on their faces and had this awareness that the person that you're looking at has a timeline that's brought them to the exact place where you are. And when you look further, there are more faces and more timelines, people with stories that will die with them, cultures that will die with them. And so I developed this goal to create empathy and community, to show us that we're all more alike than different, and use my creativity to do it. That's actually the root of obtaining and spreading emotional intelligence, understanding people's pathways and the effects of their timelines on their mental and emotional development. When we understand that people make decisions based off of what they know from their past experiences, we can then spread knowledge on how to use our own past creatively to promote good outlets instead of bad ones. We are all incredibly beautiful where we are, and we also cannot stay where we are. And when we consciously work on our emotional well-being, we learn to feel our emotions, get them under control, and eventually let them go so that life gets lighter, so that our inside environment does not affect our outside environment, and so that our outside environment does not affect our inside environment. So how do we get there? What if I told you that you are your healer, and with just a few steps, you can get to where you want to be? Step 1 is self-awareness. Ask yourself how you're reacting to the people and challenges around you, and why are you reacting that way? Step 2, and the most difficult, is self-discipline. We need to be more disciplined with our time and our emotions. Wake up earlier and give yourself time to feel and articulate that feeling so you can find constructive and creative ways to let them go and move on with your day in peace. Next is optimism and empathy. Give yourself and others grace and forgiveness and gratitude. We are all doing the best we can with what we know, and you are working hard to know better. And that hard work is going to change the world around you. And number 4, and my favorite part, is get creative with it, right? What gets the stress out of your body? Some people sing, some people dance, you might even cook. I don't, but you might. It is true, I don't cook, but I do write poetry. And so it's all about finding what works best for you. And then what do you do after you've done all of that? Bring others with you. Bring others with you so that in a hopeful future we can all say, I love my trauma. I mean, like a biker loves a speed bump or a chef loves a vegan, I always wanted to hold on to it for safekeeping. And so I strapped that first trauma like a stone to my ankle and I walked, each step getting heavier, collecting more along the way until I could no longer move forward, could no longer lift my feet off the ground, so I got angry at those who made walking harder, at those who were walking faster, and those who did nothing at all. It all just became way too hard to unpack, so I threw it on my back and I ran to my art. I love my art. Like Van Gogh loved his sunflowers and Maya loved her birds. It is the trail of paint marks in the middle of the forest, helping me trace my way back to myself. My wounds now bleed blue, ink on this paper. With each work of art, I peeled back the traumas that were making it heavy and kept the essence that made me stronger, because when I'm older, the lines in my face will be because I was happy. My knees will be weak from hiking mountains and climbing trees, my body weak from living. And so I put those traumas away neatly in the soil that they came from. I thanked them for coming, sat with them for a while, and told them they could not stay with me anymore. I buried them away and I ran to the rooftop, shouting to the others, frantically yelling at them to save themselves, because the angry woman in the supermarket is the young girl that was never heard. The man crying in the street is the child without a childhood. The villain is just the baby crying for someone to save them, and who will cry for the trauma inside of us? Who will save the child that we have tucked away? No one is coming. No one is coming because you are already here. You are your healer. There are so many of us walking with those traumas strapped to our ankles, and all we had to do was write it out, get it out, paint it out. There is nothing that we go through that we can't make beautiful. And I learned that although art expresses healing, the healing was the art all along. Thank you.